What? What? Alright, I really want to talk about this news because this is just crazy to me. So, you know the DC Extended Universe, right? You know, Man of Steel, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Shazam, Birds of Prey, those movies? Well, among this franchise, there was scheduled to be a Batgirl movie. Yeah, you know the character Batgirl, Barbara Gordon, daughter of Commissioner Jim Gordon. She goes out and shadows Batman as a crime fighter herself. She was all set to make her debut in the DCEU. She was going to be played by Leslie Grace, who we remember from In the Heights. I thought she crushed it in that movie. She's a great actress. We saw that photo she released and I personally was like, yeah, looks great. That looks like Batgirl. And not only that, but J.K. Simmons was going to come back to reprise his role as Jim Gordon. We remember he played that role in Justice League. And the villain was going to be Firefly, who I remember from Batman Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight. Really cool villain, and he was going to be played by Brandon Fraser. Great casting. I was definitely looking forward to seeing that. And also, Michael Keaton's Batman was slated to appear in this movie as well. Which, alright, yeah, I honestly wasn't sure how that was going to work. I mean, tying in with the events of the Flash movie, I guess. We would have seen somehow. And Natalie Holt was going to do the score. I was looking forward to hearing that because I liked her music in Loki and even Obi-Wan to an extent. She's a good composer. I was looking forward to hearing her score for Batgirl. And this movie was all set to happen too. The movie was actually completely shot. They wrapped production. There are set photos that you can see, obviously. I just showed you a couple. And it was in its final stages of post-production. It was already slated for a release later this year, exclusively on HBO Max. Yeah, the movie was gonna be an HBO Max exclusive. But then yesterday, the news dropped that the movie is canceled. It's just no longer happening. No one's ever gonna see it ever. Yep, all those months of hard work that the cast and crew put into this project, it was all for nothing. Warner Brothers Discovery has officially given Batgirl the axe. It won't be released on HBO Max. It won't be released theatrically. Batgirl is dead. And do I think that sucks? Hell yeah, I think that sucks. Because no matter how good or bad a concept for a movie might seem, I'm always at least looking forward to seeing it. Because in all honesty, you never really know if a movie's going to be good or bad until you see it. I do feel particularly bad for the directors, Bilal Fallah and Adil El Arbi, who also worked on Miss Marvel. They did a good job with that show. But what really sucks about this is that Adil El Arbi, he's the one on the left, he just got married the other day. Yeah, talk about your bad timing. That is pretty much the highest of highs followed by a really low low. God, that sucks for them. I saw the statement they released today and it was really heartfelt. And of course, I especially feel bad for Leslie Grace. Because, I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. It's not like she's Ezra Miller. It's not like she had this coming. She's a good kid. She's really talented. And I was looking forward to seeing her kick ass as Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. God, I imagine she must be crushed right now. I'm pretty sure when this news dropped yesterday, she cried her eyes out. And no one can blame her. Now, I've read quite a few articles about this subject, and I've seen a few different reasons being thrown around as to why Warner Brothers gave this project the axe. The first one being so it could take a tax write-down. I don't even know what that means. I mean, if it really has something to do with finance, then WB really does need to get their shit together. I know they're in the middle of a big refurbishment ever since their merger with Discovery, in which they became Warner Brothers Discovery. But you would think for them being one of the big pillars in cinematic entertainment right now, they would do a better job at it. Another reason I read for Warner Brothers giving this project the axe is there's a quote that I read saying they are committed to making DC titles big theatrical event films and Batgirl isn't that. Alright, so let me get this straight. You think that DC films should exclusively be released in theaters, even though the DC Extended Universe has had a couple of HBO Max exclusive releases already. Zack Snyder's Justice League, Peacemaker, both of which not only do I think are awesome, but so does most of the rest of the world. Both of these titles got great reviews from critics and audiences alike. Now granted, alright, Zack Snyder's Justice League was not originally intended for HBO Max. I get that. It was intended to be cinematic, so fine. But for Peacemaker, there's no excuse. That was made for HBO Max, and it came out on HBO Max, and it crushed it on HBO Max. People love that show. I made videos on each episode of that show. I thought it was awesome, and I'm totally looking forward to season 2. So the excuse DCEU films should solely be theatrical, I just find completely to be bullshit. So that's out the window. The third reason I read for Warner Brothers giving Batgirl the axe, and this is the one that I actually find the most likely to be true, is because they showed the film to test audiences and feedback was just so poor. Test audiences thought the movie was so bad that Warner Brothers just decided to cut the film from release entirely. Which, if that is truly the case, I guess I do understand. I mean, at first I didn't understand, because even Sony released Morbius, and even Fox released Fantastic Four. You see what I'm getting at here? That's no excuse. Yeah, sure, sometimes a movie will do poorly with test audiences, but it'll still get released. The way I see it, if a comic book movie is good or bad, it doesn't matter, I still want to go see it just to see. If for nothing else, so I can look my camera dead in the eye and tell you, yeah, Morbius is complete shit. Yeah, maybe test audiences, which is like a very, very small percentage of people, maybe they thought Batgirl was shit. But the rest of us who were not part of that test audiences, most of the world, we'll just never know now. They never dropped any trailers or footage or anything, so we'll just never know anything about the movie. I mean, if a trailer dropped and the movie looked bad, then sure, then I'll be like, yeah, the movie looks terrible. But as it stands now, we'll never know. But then after some thinking, I was like, alright, maybe I do understand given the current state of things with DC. I mean, with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, with Amber Heard, that whole snafu, plus The Flash with Ezra Miller, my god, that movie's in deep shit. Which is funny though, because I know those movies are supposed to be like big, super hit movies, because those characters are mega popular, but now those movies are both in huge trouble. But that's like all that DC is known for right now, just the bad stuff. When they do have some good stuff too, like, I mean, the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, those got great reviews. Black Adam looks great, Shazam Fury of the Gods looks good. So DC has some good stuff too, but doesn't matter because they have some huge controversies around some of their other upcoming films as well. And I guess that'll always take precedence. Point is, with all the bad press that DC is getting right now, I get that the last thing they need is another disaster. And since Batgirl supposedly tested so poorly with test audiences, they were like, alright, it looks like that's gonna be another disaster for us. Let's prevent that from happening. Let's try to save our own skin. Let's cut the movie from release. If that truly is the case, I guess I get it. I mean, of course I'd still rather see it so I can know for sure. Or at least they could have done reshoots or something, fixed up the movie a bit. I don't know. As it stands, I am pretty bummed out about this news. Cause again, good or bad, I'm always looking forward to seeing a movie. Especially if it's a comic book movie. And seeing as how this film was slated for an HBO Max exclusive release, I fear for the Black Canary film. Yeah, in case you didn't know, the character of Black Canary from Birds of Prey, she's slated to get her own spin-off movie that is, again, slated for an HBO Max exclusive release. I'm not sure how far into production they are on that one, but if that movie also gets canned, that would also suck because she was a badass character in Birds of Prey. So, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Of course, I still do always have hope. Just like I have hope that they might restore the Snyderverse one day. Maybe someday in the future we will get to see this unreleased Batgirl movie. Maybe I'm being stupidly optimistic. If for nothing else, it's
just a fool's hope.
So, the DC Extended Universe Batgirl movie being cancelled. No one's ever gonna see it ever. What are your thoughts on this shitty situation? Are you bummed out like I am, or do you not care? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go cheer myself up with some Harley Quinn Season 3. Because the first 3 episodes of that are finally out now and I still haven't watched them all the way through yet, so gotta get on that. Peace!